Rockford's home for classic rock is 96.7 The Eagle. Wednesday night at the Coronado Performing Arts Center, we welcome Alice Cooper to town and had the chance to speak with Alice Cooper last week. And he said, you know what, Captain Jack, I have an absolute shredder as a guitar player. I wanted a shredder. I've got a shredder. And we've got the shredder joining us on the phone right now. Nita Strauss is joining us. How are you? Thanks for joining me.
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on.
Well, I got to tell you, first and foremost, I spoke with the boss last week. I don't know. Do you call Alice the boss?
We call him Alice or Coop. It's usually Alice or Coop. We call him the boss, like affectionately.
I can imagine. You know, first off, let's go back a little bit. You know, being able to be a part of, such a legendary artist, legendary rock artist, to be a part of the Alice Cooper band. How did this come about for you?
Well, I've been playing guitar and touring professionally for about 16 years.
Okay.
I'm 31. I've been doing it since 15. So it's been a long road, getting to this point of playing with somebody like Alice. I was playing with a band called the Iron Maidens, which is a tribute band to Iron Maiden. And we were playing on the Monsters of Rock cruise, and one of Alice's old bandmates saw us play, and it was actually Kip Winger.
Right.
And Kip was the one that put in the first good word for me to the Alice Cooper camp, and I'm very, very grateful for that.
How amazing is that? Just kind of connecting the rock and roll dots. You go back in the day with Alice Cooper, and Kip Winger is the one. We all know him, and he's the one who kind of puts you guys together. So that's such a great story.
Yeah, it's. I always say that it's the old saying that luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. And
sure.
If you're you have to be prepared. You have to practice hard. You have to do all that stuff. But, hey, you also have to be in the right place at the right time.
Now, from what I understand, talking with Alice Cooper last week, this leg of this tour, this has been going since about February or so. I understand you're huge into working out. You're huge into hitting the gym. So my question for you, I've talked to many musicians over the years that are very athletic and they like to get out and get the workouts in. How do you do that? How do you maintain while you're on the road? How do you fit those workouts in?
Well, it's all about making the time, and of course, diet comes first.
Sure.
Proper diet, nutrition on the road is the hardest thing. I actually have my meals sent out every single week of the tour. I use a company called Trifecta Nutrition, and that has been a total game changer for me because not only for working out, but just in general for staying healthy on the road, you have to be on top of your diet. You have to be getting enough protein and not eating too many carbs and eating, you can eat as much as you need to, just eat the right things.
Sure.
So having the trifecta meals, with the correct macros and everything, it's all organic, grass-fed, wild-caught fish, grass-fed protein and so forth. So it's really that was a huge game changer for me. And then I also have a fitness coach who works with me remotely. That's Ingrid Romero with Team Edge. She's actually a bodybuilding coach.
Right.
I don't compete, but to have somebody that has that knowledge and that discipline has been really, really amazing for me. So they do all my workouts, and I send progress pictures every 2 weeks. And it's very strict. It's very much like a real athlete, except I do most of my athleticism on stage.
Yeah, we're talking with Nita Strauss, Alice Cooper's guitar player, in town tomorrow night at the Coronado Performing Arts Center. Now, tell me about that. You're on stage, and you finally get that window to perform, and you're up there. I mean, you're going around, you're flying around, you're playing, very precise musician. But, I mean, it is a very, I guess, athletic thing that you're doing. You're putting out a lot of effort, and what goes into that show, I mean, you're exhausted when you get done. You put everything into that.
It is really athletic, yeah. A rock show is something that isn't necessarily athletic, but if it's done right, it's pretty athletic.
Sure,
you know what
sure.
I mean? You should be breaking a sweat. You shouldn't be getting off stage thinking oh, that was easy. You want to put your heart and your soul and everything that you have into that performance. So that's what I do every single night. I leave it out on the stage, and I actually treat it kind of like a workout, believe it or not. Since you know a lot about weightlifting and bodybuilding, you'll appreciate this. I literally treat it so much like a workout that I put my sweet sweat on, I take my L-carnitine, I take a BCAA before a show because I get so much cardio in. I actually wear a step tracker on stage. I wear a Misfit wearable step tracker, and I usually hit about 10,000 steps by the end of the show.
That's incredible. Nita Strauss is joining us in town Wednesday night. Alice Cooper at the Coronado Performing Arts Center. And speaking of athletics, I know that you're a huge wrestling fan. I'm a huge wrestling fan. You had the opportunity to perform at WrestleMania in New Orleans. Now, that's 80,000 strong and millions worldwide. What's that like out on that ramp, out on that stage there, knowing that that's a massive crowd watching you?
Man, WrestleMania, the energy at WrestleMania is really like nothing I have ever experienced before because, I've played a lot of big rock shows. To be honest, I've played in front of bigger crowds than that before. But what I've never done is play in front of something that is the convergence of all the biggest fans from every country in the world. You know what I mean? WrestleMania is the best and brightest, most hardworking, passionate, and dedicated wrestling fans that exist. So for them to all come into one place and be there watching that show, that's really, really special energy to be around and something I will never forget as long as I live.
Nita Strauss is joining us. Alice Cooper's a guitar player. They're in town Wednesday night, Coronado Performing Arts Center. Hey, I got to tell you, I've been doing this radio thing for many years, and you always get the information sent to you, the bio sheet of here's the musician and here's what they've done. This, I don't know if you've seen this before. It says, in order, it says animal lover, fitness enthusiast, wrestling fan, guitarist, and total badass. That's the list that I got right there. So guitarist comes in fourth, and total badass is put on the list. So I think you're thought of pretty highly.
That one. That's amazing, and I love that it has animal lover on there because I am a total animal lover, but I didn't know that I was known for that.
We do a thing here on my show on Fridays. It's called Dog Rescue Rocks, where we have a person locally that does a lot of animal dog rescue, comes in and brings a pet in, and we try to find that dog a forever family. So tell me about tell me about your love of pets, your love of animals. What are you involved with?
Well, I work really closely with an organization called Wings of Rescue, which is out of Los Angeles, and I actually haven't had time. I just haven't even been home to do. I guess I shouldn't say closely because I haven't been home enough to do stuff with them in a while. But this is, anytime someone says, hey, we're going to do a charity thing, this is always my charity of choice. I've actually been with them on their missions. And what they do is they take animals from super high-kill shelters that are very overcrowded in LA. And, you go downtown Los Angeles and stuff, you just see so many animals that have just been abandoned or lost or put out on the street without a home. And so they take these animals that are in, literally life-or-death situations of being euthanized, and they use volunteer pilots with volunteer planes, and they fly them out of Los Angeles to safety to other counties or other states that actually have room for them in the shelters.
Nita Strauss is joining us. Alice Cooper, Wednesday night, Coronado Performing Arts Center. We thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your time. Tell me about besides the Alice Cooper, you've got some solo work. Tell us about the solo work, and if you can, kind of describe the work that you've done with this.
Yeah, definitely. So my solo record, Controlled Chaos, is coming out November 16th, and that's on Sumerian Records. And it's really, it's a chance for me, a guitar player who spent my whole career playing other people's music. It's a chance for me to just step out and go, hey, I know that you guys have seen me play Iron Maiden songs. I know you guys have seen me play Alice Cooper songs. I know you guys have seen me play the national anthem and all the other stuff that goes along with being a pro guitar player. But I want to show you what comes out of my brain. I want to show you the way that I speak and the language that I speak. And that's kind of, the whole idea behind this record is, just getting my own vision out there in my own voice.
Fantastic. We look forward to having you in town Wednesday night down at the Coronado Performing Arts Center. I know you've been to numerous theaters and venues across the country and across the world, and I can guarantee you are going to love the Coronado Performing Arts Center. It's we call it the crown jewel of Rockford. So it's one of those theaters that you will be there, you will play there, and you will never forget it. Nita, thank you so much for joining us. Looking forward to having you in town Wednesday night with Alice Cooper. All the best of luck, and we'll put all the links and everything up on our website so everybody can check out the solo work. Thank you so much, and we look forward to having you in Rockford Wednesday evening.
Thanks a lot for having me on. We're super, super excited.